Hello, everyone. Thank you for visiting our channel. Raphael and I are here to be of service to you, and we want to talk today about integrity. Now, I've had people on my radio show that get upset with me when I talk politics, but you need to understand that you are a physical being as well as a being. And when we talk about human beings and integrity, we are talking about their soul growth. If they are an advanced soul, they will have very high integrity. They will be known for telling the truth. They will be known for compassion and for understanding of others. They will be known for their generosity and their kindness because those are the advanced attributes of an older soul. Now, what I'm going to talk about today is about a young soul, a very young soul who has very little integrity and who has even gone to the point of telling people to vote twice, to check out the system, to vote by mail and then go and vote by at the booth to just see if it works. Now, anybody with any integrity or an older soul would never, ever suggest such a thing. So this demonstrates to you how your president, and I guess he's mine too, but dear ones, I don't own him. I will not accept this baby soul as my president for the next term. I have seen so much damage that he has created from the way he treats people that come into our country, locks them up in cages, and takes their children away from them just to discourage other people from coming to this country. That is outrageous. And that alone should tell you that the integrity of this man that would allow such a cruel thing is that he is simply a baby soul and doesn't know any better. And so, dear ones, we come today, Raphael and I, to say to you that you are not to ever listen to this man, especially when he goes and tells you to create a felony that could put you in prison from 2 to 10 years, depending on how badly you created the fraud. And then you have to pay the fines for the court system, which could run over $1,000. This does not make sense. For you to follow that idea by a president who has so little integrity that he would even suggest it, oh, dear friends, please tell your friends, if they're even thinking about it, to forget it, that it is not integrity that is being exhibited here. It is pure selfishness in trying to defraud our voter system, to try and make people believe that voting by mail doesn't work, when every state can tell you that it does work, and it has worked. And when you talk about the voting way, I mean, eventually, maybe someday, we're going to have a vote that will be by the people. In other words, we will count each vote, and the number of votes will determine, not the electoral college, which can be manipulated to make it go for a particular party the way they move the map around. So the electoral college is not serving us as far as citizens to make our votes. If we had gone by the votes, just by the amount of people that voted for Hillary Clinton, she would be our president now. And for those of you that are horrified that I should say such a thing, you probably aren't watching this video very much anyway. But the truth is, she really was voted in by the people to be the president. And instead, Donald Trump, through manipulation of the Electoral College, won the vote. Now, we do not want to have people voting twice because our president says, check it out and see if it works, when you could go to jail. Oh, dear friends, pass the word to your friends that are even thinking about it and telling them, number one, it does not speak to their integrity and their soul growth. So we are talking about the spiritual side of you. To do anything that is against the honesty of your soul is detrimental to your soul growth, dear ones. We say to you, please do not even consider voting that way. Do not. We had one lady on the television if you look it up on YouTube, that admitted she had voted twice for Trump. So let's pay attention to your soul. Your soul would never suggest you do that. Only young souls, baby souls, are looking out to make things go their way, no matter if it's truth or fiction, no matter if it's right or wrong. They are baby souls. They just don't know any better. And that's why God doesn't really judge them, dear ones. God doesn't judge them. God loves them as much as he loves every single human being and everything that exists on this planet. For God is pure love, and pure love cannot condemn another. And yet, we as sentient beings have free will. We have to choose what is right and what is wrong. And that means we need to look at the bigger picture. And what does Trump stand for? With all of the people that he said he was going to clean the swamp, he has put in more criminals that have been actually brought to justice. So he has not followed through on that. He's done just the opposite. He has brought in crooks and people that are liars. And that says what his point of view is. He's just a baby soul. He doesn't know the consequences of his actions. And this is why we don't judge him. We do judge only that we cannot allow this kind of lack of integrity to come out of the White House. And so we are speaking up, Raphael and I, and telling you to look beyond the physical world and look into the heart of the soul of the person. And if you see them telling you to do something that is illegal and simply wrong, then you need to look at that person a little more closely. And so, dear ones, we say to you, vote either by mail, and it's perfectly safe to vote by mail. Don't listen to all this stuff. It's been going on for years. Whole states have been voting by mail, and it works. So don't let people try and scare you not to do that. I know I am going to vote in person. My voting booth, I've checked, first of all, and you need to do this too. I checked to see that I am on the voting roster. My name is there. And I checked to see that my voting poll is still in the same library just around the corner from me. So you better believe on November 3rd, I am going to be there. And I'm going to vote early if I possibly can, but I won't do it by mail. I will do it in person to make sure that my vote counts. And believe me, I will not vote for Donald Trump. Joe Biden has shown us he is an adult soul. He has compassion for other people and for what's going on in the world. He is not looking out for his own good and how much money he can make as a president. He is an honest person. And so we encourage you, not as a political point of view from Betty Ray, but as a point of view from Betty Ray who talks to Raphael. And Raphael says that Joe Biden's soul is much more pure than Donald Trump because he is looking out for his own good. If he doesn't get reelected, he's going to have to go to court. He's going to have to pay all of the rules that he has broken. And of course, he wants to win by any means that he can. This is a man who has committed many errors in his own finances because he has cheated and he has some of the buildings that he created, he filed for bankruptcy, and all of the people who were working under him didn't get paid. They put in all that time and labor, and because he filed for bankruptcy, they didn't get paid. And so there's like, I don't know how many, at least 5 bankruptcies or more that he has defaulted on something that he started to do and then didn't follow through. There's so many things when you're willing to open your eyes and look at this man that you would never, ever vote for him to be your president again. And so we encourage you this day to get the facts, to see what is being said in the news that is not just Fox News. There are so many people, yes, my radio people say, how do you believe? Well, you got to get people's opinions, all different kinds of opinions, and then you have to figure out for yourself who's telling the truth and who's trying to just get in politics so that they can have their way. We so encourage you, dear friends, do the study, look what's going on. Like the fact that he at one point told people, oh, you don't need to wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, you don't have to wear a mask. And so what happened? Our country is the last country to be able to try and get the coronavirus under control because of the leadership that told us to ignore the sciences. The people that know what they're talking about, that have studied viruses, that even know what a virus looks like under a microscope. Donald Trump doesn't know any of this. He is simply looking out for his own needs. And he wants people to be out there and earning money and doing the things they need to do. And so he wants you to ignore the virus. Dear hearts, Raphael is your spiritual counselor, and so are we. But we are telling you what is causing so much disruption in our country is because of the leadership that we had. And for the people that should be telling Donald Trump to knock it off are afraid to do so because you'll be fired. He's done this to anybody that has gone against what he wants. And so all of the good people that were in the office, in the White House, have been all fired. And he puts in people in different jobs that have absolutely no knowledge, like the White House, or excuse me, like the post office. He doesn't know, the man he put in there does not know anything about post office. And it is not a company that is supposed to earn its own money, make money. It's a service. That's why it's called the service, the post office service, because it's like our right to have the ability to send mail and know it's going to get there in a timely manner. You don't have to expect the post office to make money. It's not expected to. It's a service. It should break even. And so to have somebody come in there and try and turn it into a business, it is not. It is put up there as a service. Like Social Security is what you earn from being in the job force. You put money into Social Security, so that's your money you're getting back. That's not supposed to make money. That's your money you're getting back. All of these misdirections just so they have control, and to have Trump actually suggesting that he will stop Social Security is an outrageous thing. I mean, if Social Security is taken away from all the people that put money into it for all the years they worked, then that is a criminal act. I'm sorry if I seem so wound up, dear ones. I am wound up. I was so upset when I heard Donald Trump tell people, vote twice. Go, vote by mail and then go vote at the office too. Just see if it works. See if you are stopped. That's putting people in jeopardy to go to jail, to have to pay a horrible fine. Did he even think twice about that? No, he didn't, because he wanted to prove a point. When you feel that anger within you because of injustice that is being done to you and to all the people in your country, you are being a spiritual being who is standing up for what is right. And it has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with standing up for what is right and calling out what is wrong. It is not just our right, but it is our, I don't even think the word, I'm so flabbergasted. It is the right thing to do, to not just sit back and let this kind of grievances go without being heard. And that's why I'm here today, dear ones, to say to you, do not listen to this man who would tell you to commit a felony that could put you in prison and cost you thousands of dollars in fines. Do not listen to someone that even would suggest that. What kind of integrity does this president have that would even suggest it? Because he has no integrity. And again, it is because he is not an experienced soul, either in this life to have the consequences of his actions, because his daddy was always there to bail him out, or in previous lifetimes. He's not had enough previous lifetimes to know if you commit a crime, you can end up in jail. And really, when you think about it, he has committed a crime by even suggesting such a thing. And yet, he has Bill Barr, who will make sure he never has to pay the consequences of his actions. And when you look at that and you look at the facts and how he has that man in his back pocket to do his bidding, then I don't understand why you aren't angry and why you aren't calling your representative, why you aren't saying, we demand that this man be taken to court for what he has even suggested, because he has suggested a felony of telling people to create a felony by voting twice, just because he wants to prove that the mail-in votes are not valid, because he's afraid. He's really afraid that he is going to lose. And what is his cost there? Not just out of the White House, but by being put in jail for all the crimes he has committed that are already being filed against him in the New York courts. That's what he's afraid of. His only escape will be to just get out of the country. His whole family will have to get out of the country. And if we are going to do the right thing and vote in a man with integrity, Joe Biden, then we're going to see the consequences of his actions. And he will maybe for the first time have to pay the price for being as lacking in integrity as he is. But I suggest he'll figure out a way to get out of it. He won't be paying for it again. He'll have his voters that he has under his thumb that are full of money, that can keep putting money to take care of him, and he'll probably get away with it. He'll probably go to some country that doesn't have jurisdiction to bring him back. Whatever happens in the future, we say to each of you, you are a spiritual being. You must look at justice. And you are a physical being that is in a country that votes their president in or out. Dear ones, Raphael feels this strongly, won't let me sleep. I had to think of this twice because I know how people can get turned off if we talk about politics. But we are talking about spirituality as well. Your spirit does not allow you to have lack of integrity. It does not work for you if you're an advanced soul. It's those beginner souls that are always looking for a way out of having to work too hard. They will sue somebody just because it's a possible way to get lots of money without having to earn it. Those are baby souls, and Trump is a baby soul. And this is why God loves him unconditionally, because God knows he just doesn't know any better. And so it's not a matter of saying Trump's going to go to hell, because there is no hell as we understand it. There is no such thing. There is being stuck in the between world. If you are so invested in the physical life that you left behind, you'll get stuck here in the spirit end of this world. And that's where a lot of people will try to influence you. If Trump were to pass over, he'd still be trying to influence you to bring whatever he needs to back, because you can get influence from people on the other side. And so you need to listen carefully to your soul and not to the thoughts of those who would cheat or who would find a way around something. Raise your integrity and you will raise your soul into a more advanced state than you're in now. It's all connected. There is not just a physical world and a physical way of looking at life and a spiritual world and a spiritual way of looking at life. They are very much together, people. And what you do and what you say comes back at you. It's like a boomerang. If you send out something negative is going to come back and just slap you on the face. If you send out good, what will come back is a kiss on the cheek and good things happening to you. And so if bad things are happening, then look back, maybe even the past lifetime, and you are reaping what you have sowed. But if you are having a life that works for you, in spite of this pandemic, in spite of all the things that have happened, if you are pure of heart, all good will come to you. But do not listen to a man who is not pure of heart. He is only looking out for how he can benefit his rich friends. And that's what happened when he gave all that tax breaks to his rich friends and didn't do anything for the middle class. He didn't do anything for people that really needed a tax break. Look at that. Look at his deeds and judge him by that. And a lot of you who are into finances, they look at the stock market. But there's only a few people that can afford to even spend money on the stock market. Those aren't the people that are the United States. They're like a small percentage of the rich that can put money in the stock market to make money. I can't do that. I'm a retired teacher. I couldn't even think about putting money in the stock market. I don't have that kind of money to give. And 90% of the people don't. So if you are looking to Trump to save you financially, then you better re-examine your conscience and start looking at the rest of the world. Start looking at what we have done to those poor immigrants. Start looking at how he has paid off people, including Stormy Daniels, $30,000 so she wouldn't squeal on him that he had an affair with her while he was still married. Look at those kinds of things and see how you would judge his morality, his soul. And again, I spoke a long time ago about how Trump could be the Antichrist, only meaning that he and many others could be Antichrist because they don't believe in following the Christian principles. And we pointed out the 7 deadly sins. We pointed out how Trump had violated all 7 of them. And if you want to see that, go look back on our videos and look for, is Trump the Antichrist? And we pointed out every one of the 7 deadly sins and showed how Trump has broken every one of them. Once you look at that, once you really look at that, how can you judge yourself if you vote for a man like that? How can you? Oh, dear ones, we are passionate about this country. We love this country. And I say we because I am talking about the Archangel as well as Betty Ray. We love this country. We want to see justice prevail. We don't want to lose our democracy, which is 3 parts of the government. We don't want to make the president in charge of all those 3 parts. And yet he's already taken over the justice part, where he has that man in his pocket to do his bidding. We are in danger of losing everything that gives us freedom if we vote for this man, Donald Trump. And with that, dear ones, I call upon God and all the angels, and Raphael and all the archangels, to bless our population in the United States with not only health and defeating the coronavirus, but I ask that they also awaken our minds to the political truth and to not vote for Donald Trump. We ask this in all the names of those who are holy, all of those who are following the holy ones and their teachings. We ask this in God's name. We ask this in Jesus' name. We ask this in Abraham's name and all of the prophets that are in the Bible. We ask this for truth to be made known to all the people in the United States so that they may vote clearly with a clear conscience and not for their own selfish needs. And so, dear ones, it is up to you. The election is coming up fast. It is up to you to listen to your conscience, to really pay attention to what this president is saying and doing, and to believe that to tell anyone to commit a felony is absolutely a crime in itself that should make him responsible for some kind of justice. But it will not come because he's already got Bill Barr in charge of the Justice Department, and Bill Barr will not trespass on anything that Trump wants to have. We are in a pickle, dear friends. Our government is in trouble. Our government is in trouble that we may become a tyrannical government ruled by one. Trump wants to be like Putin. He always has. He's talked about it. He wants to have four more years plus 4 more years plus 4 more years. He said that. He wants to be like Putin. He admires Putin, and he admires the Korean government, the totalitarian government. He admires China. Do the people in their countries admire them? No, they're trying to fight for their own ability to say what is good for them. And they're being killed. They have people, Putin killed somebody in his government who was trying to stand against him, poisoned him. That's on the news if you look for it. Oh, dear ones, I don't rant and rave like this very much, but I do hope you share this video with all of your friends who are voting and who have even you think might have an inclination to vote for Trump. That you look at the fact that the archangels are trying to save our country, and all of the angels that are hovering around are trying to save our country from tyrannical rule. And that's what Trump is trying to do. He's trying to emulate Putin, and Putin has Trump in his pocket. That's the reason why he will most definitely try to interfere with our election to make Trump the next president. Do not allow this to happen. Talk to your friends. Don't be afraid to say what you believe, and don't be afraid to send them this video. We have been a spiritual counselor for probably 70 years now. We're in our 80s. We've been doing this ever since we were young. And because we have always worked with the angels. And it wasn't until just a few years ago we knew we were working with the Archangel Raphael. We just knew that we were looking always for good and for peace and harmony. And that's what we have fought for all of our years in our counseling for people all over the world. When people come to us, and we encourage you to do so, when people come to us to have Raphael speak with them, to help them understand how their life is going and what they need to do to be happy, then they feel that pure, unconditional love from the Archangel. And it absolutely energizes them. It lifts them up. It makes them understand what joy is. We just did a video on joy. Check it out. We did 30 days of videos on how to be happy. We are not here to make you unhappy or to make you judge us because we have an opinion about who should be the next president. We are not here for that. We are here to save our country. We are here to save the United States of America from a tyrant who will destroy our democracy. Do not let that happen, dear ones. Send this video to as many people as you can think of. Please subscribe to our channel. We are only here to be of service to you. There is nothing in it for us. In fact, we do not even charge for those readings that you can have with Raphael. So email us at angelbettyrae@gmail.com. ANGELBETTYRAE@gmail.com, and ask for a consultation with Raphael, and you will know the joy that this archangel gives you and never ever judges you or never ever says you should not or you shall not. No shoulds or oughts or coulds come from that archangel's mouth. Only that you are a divine being of light, and he tells you what your soul is, what its purpose is, and how you came here and what you came here to learn and the good that you came here to bring. That's what he reveals to you. Through me, I'm just a telephone. I'm just a translator. You know, if you're at the UN, you see back in the back of the room, all these people that have microphones on. So when somebody is talking in another language, they're interpreting it in English. That's what I do. I interpret the language of angels, and I bring to the beauty and the goodness of the Archangel Raphael, who never has any hate or never has any judgment, but helps you to see more clearly who you are and who others are. So if somebody has betrayed you, you have a right to be angry and to feel that you have been betrayed. And yet, when you talk to Raphael, you might be able to be shown this lifetime, or maybe you betrayed that person or some other person. And so now you're experiencing the emotion of betrayal. And what are you going to do about it? Are you going to be angry and are you going to try to get back at the person? Or are you going to ask God to help you understand how you can be more empathetic to other people? How you can say, yes, I know what it's like to be betrayed. And here's are some of the ideas that I've learned from the Archangel Raphael and how to be happy in spite of it. Isn't that a better way than trying to get back to somebody that might have hurt us? Doesn't that make more sense to grow spiritually? Therefore, how can a president tell all of his people to commit fraud just to check out if the system works? And if you really want to look at the system, you'll see how it has worked. So many states have only voted by mail, and they've never had a problem. You don't need to vote by mail. If you can go in person, do it. But you don't need to worry that your vote won't count, because it will. Okay, we're done. Thank you for letting us rant and rave. And please pass this on to all of your friends who are on the fence. They don't know who to vote for. Please send this video to them and tell them that we have been here for over 70 years trying to help people to be spiritual beings first and physical beings second, and to learn to increase our integrity and our honesty and our sincerity and our compassion and our love for others. All of those things are spiritual things. And all of those things are being neglected in this president, because he is determined to save himself from the repercussions of his dishonesty. When he is no longer in office, he can be put on trial for those things. Of course, he's going to do anything, cheat or any way, to avoid that kind of future. But it's about time that what goes around comes around and smacks Donald Trump right in the face. And so, with our beautiful angel behind us, and if I move over a little bit, you see this beautiful picture that my son sent me from Rome. That's kind of how he sees his mother, as angels talking in her ears. And that was such a blessing that he sent to me. And so we show you these two angels simply because we are always speaking with the voice of angels. And because of that, you can trust it. You can trust that we are here for you and not for ourselves. We do not charge. We have given that up because we know how blessed we have been, and we are now paying it forward. We hope you will do the same, that you will be generous with your finances, that you will be compassionate for those who have less than you do, that you will be patient with those people who give you a hard time, that you will give love for those who do not. And we ask you to call upon the angels to surround our globe, because global warming is one of the big things that needs to be addressed in the next election. Biden talks about that. Trump doesn't even believe in global warming. And our country, our world, is at stake. I think we're done. And so, dear ones, we say to you, blessings be showered upon you. May all your needs be met, and may you have the integrity to vote for Joe Biden and not for Donald Trump. God bless you. We'll be back again. Please share this video with others. Please subscribe. And thank you for being with us. Bye for now.